Let's try and ram him out of the air, at least take one with us if we can here. Come over here. He's dead. What? How you just die? Formation flight. Lol. Hello. Goodbye. Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to another episode of War Thunder with me, Spacefish. Now, I've been thinking a bit back and forth about what vehicle I do want to show you today, because while I do have a few different ones lined up, they are all kind of still in the process of spading, so I didn't really feel they were quite ready yet, so I was searching back and forth on what to do, and I actually came back to Great Britain and saw my trusty Vampire FB5 and was like, this may actually be a good follow-up to the video that I did a bit ago on the Meteor F MK, because the Vampire in the British tech tree is sitting in right around the same spot. If we check this out right here real quick, coming from the Tempest, it's kind of the entry into the British jet, sitting at 7.3, so a 0.3 of a BR higher than the Meteor F MK. But at the same time, you know, bringing a good bunch of advantages to it, also a few disadvantages. So let's kind of look at the stats of the plane real quick. As you can see right here, well, at least in terms of performance, I've got this thing fully spaded, so you do get a max speed of 855 kilometers an hour, which compared to the Meteor is actually 100 kilometers an hour more at just 0.3 of a BR difference. So that is actually very, very neat, and you may remember that in the Meteor Mark III episode, I really had some issues keeping up with other jets at the same BR, so that issue should be a bit less pronounced with the Vampire FB5. You also have a turn time of 24 seconds, which you, well, gotta admit, it's 4 seconds worse than the Meteor, so you're not gonna get quite the turn time out of it, and also, the rate of climb is like 2 meters a second lower, so there is a good bunch of drawbacks to that max speed, but on the other hand side, what you do also get, and we should probably not forget about, is that the roll rate is actually a good bit better than the Meteor Mark III, so that is also certainly something to take into consideration right there. Other than that, well, you do get the same armament, getting 4 Hispano Mark 4s, 5s, I'm not quite sure, Mark 5s right here under the nose, and yeah, other than that, I mean, in terms of performance, nothing really else notably to speak of. You do see that you do only get one engine, so, you know, that can be an advantage, can be a disadvantage. If your one engine gets blapped, you're gonna have issues making it back, but honestly, we saw with the Meteor Mark III as well that only flying on one engine is kind of borderlining it pretty badly. So, well, that's something to take into consideration. You've got a very interesting and unique tail setup, of course, with the 2 rudders instead of 1, and then the 1 central aileron at the back there. So also a very interesting designs in terms of looks and functionality, but in stats honestly not too far apart from something like the Meteor Mark III. So I think that kind of does beg to have a bit of a comparison video and see, like, in the very end, what would you actually want more at this BR? Would you want the max speed? Would you want the turn time? I feel that it kind of depends more on the player type than anything, but I also feel that that max speed is going to be a godsend when trying to keep up with other planes at that BR. So, well, I think we can only find out about this one way. So let's go, hop into our clips, hop into the first battle, and let's see what this thing is all about. Alright, so welcome to the very first match now with our trusty Vampire. Just chilling here on the runway, currently taking off, and I'm going to take a slight bit of a left and just gain some altitude before anything else is going to happen. So what you will probably see is that I will most likely reach a bit of a higher climbing speed than I do with the Meteor, just due to the different max speeds, but in terms of actual climb rate, there shouldn't be much of a change at all. So let's have a little bit of a look at that. I'm also just using 11 minutes of fuel, which may or may not be a little low. We will find out about that as we go, I suppose. You know, if it was like 9 minutes or something, I would be pretty positive that I don't want to go for that. But it very much feels like the, especially in the plane like Vampire, you just need every little bit of a weight advantage that you can get just to kind of try and get the max out in terms of speed and climb speed as well. So just going up to like 550 kilometers an hour and then starting my 10-degree climb right here. As you can see, we're still slightly gaining some speed in the climb, which is good news right there, but it will still take us an absolute age to actually get up and get some energy and some altitude. So I don't want to bore you all with that forever, so I'm probably going to meet you when we're a bit closer to the fight. Alright, and as you can see, we're getting a bit closer to the fight, and I've also honestly managed to keep up with the climb rates of the other jets just about fine. Approaching 4,000 meters now. Everything's mostly at my altitude or a bit below, so I can't really complain about that. I am going to go and prioritize some more speed now, though, as we try and close up to the fight a bit more. That marker down below me is just an NPC ME410, so we are indeed going to go and ignore that for the time being. But we've got an F2G down below. We've got an F84G closing in on our tail, which I very much don't like, but he's actually breaking off, so that's great news right there. And here's an F84G and a D, well, an F89D actually below us, which I don't really quite want to engage. No, I do, because they are actually engaging a buddy of mine, so I'm going to go to try and help them out. As you can see, got some decent speed right here, and I do want to try and not overspeed, and my buddy just died, and that's terrible news right there. I'm going to go to try and grab back my altitude, as I can hear somebody approaching me from above. We don't want any of that. But we are in the middle of the enemies now, and that is not a good thing. Oh god, that's close. No. Go away. Go away. I am G-locked. Great. Alright everyone, and welcome back to the second one. As you can see, not really that much climbing going on this one. There's already somebody attacking a buddy to my left, and he got absolutely murdered. So that is certainly not a good start right here. But at least I am not too far from my friendlies at the moment. So I should be able to somewhat engage the dude that is now getting onto the back of another friend who is actually already dead. So, yeah, very much of an issue right there. F89D going into a climb in front of me. Wait. Come over here. Oh, come over here. He's got more energy than me. Yeah. Okay. We could be in a terrible spot against this dude. Maybe not. I mean, maybe not. Maybe not. No, okay, so he'll at least have to dive away. We were not in that terrible of a spot, but, well, that was a few hits. That did absolutely not do a thing to him. Maybe, though, we can somewhat stay on his tail here, unless he decides to crash, which he doesn't. That was a crit right there. That was nice, just spraying a bit. Oh god, I see rockets of his. A lot of them indeed, oh god. This could be bad. No, it isn't. Still isn't. Okay, I'm not sure what we hit, but we did crit him, so that is certainly a start. Hopefully going to be able... Uh-oh. Is that another something coming in? It is below me, okay. So hopefully, maybe potentially being able to put an end to the F89D menace here. Let's see about that. See, nicely shows me a bit more profile. Okay, rudder lock. Rudder locks are never that fun. Just dodged a, well, I was going to say bullet there, but a missile, and he managed to crash, and we got the kill. Okay, interesting. Well, I'm gonna take it. I don't want to take that, so we're gonna try and evade that, and we're gonna G-lock again. I do have the G-suit on this plane, which you do indeed get as a possible modification, so that's great. But what I do not have is any sort of a decent pilot. He's instead rather terrible. So yeah, not enjoying that one right now, as you can probably tell, after like just also dying in the first game due to a G-lock. But yeah, we're trying to manage. You know, the speeds are not the greatest in the world, so not too bad overall. And if we can... No, that's too far for a snipe now. Okay. I tried, but that's too far for a snipe now, and I do not really have many more bullets to lob at the dude, which is also a bit of an issue. There's another buddy of his coming in, indeed. So, not being too great. Either MiG-9 did make it out. Is that his own smoke, or is he actually on... I'm not sure. It feels like it's more of his own smoke right now, but... Engine is going slightly warm at the moment, so I do not like that. Hits again, and we are out of ammo. Great stuff. Okay, let's try and ram him out of the air. At least take one with us if we can here. Come over here. He's dead. What? How you just die? Formation flight. Lol. Hello. Goodbye. Interesting. Somebody seems to have sniped his pilot. I mean, that works for me. That means I can go back to the base and hopefully rearm. Which, by the way, the base is actually very nearly dead. Oh boy. That seems to have been very close. But all in all, seem to be winning this game nicely. And now there's two runaway B-29s again that are going to be absolutely bothering everyone for the rest of the game. So, you know, great news, great times. I'm so sure they're going to waste our time again. Well, I'll report back on that in the next one, then. Alright, back we are, finding some F-80s right in the middle of the air. The one seems to be avoiding me, the other one is going straight for the head-on. Which, well, I didn't hit a thing, and he hit, like, a tad bit of something. Another F-80 coming around now for what seems to be another head-on. Okay. Yeah. Alright, back we are, another one after getting slapped by an anti-air missile with a 7.3 plane. So apparently there is a Seahawk now, you can buy it Germany at 8.0, which gets A9Bs. 8.0. Where you've got like Sabres and MiGs that don't even have anti-air missiles at 8.7, so... yeah. Not too sure how I feel about that one, to be honest. That was at the very least kind of unexpected. I hope that I can now be a bit more prepared for that stuff if I do end up seeing a Seahawk somewhere. R2-Y2 trying to defend himself with bombs like a champ. But we are both behind him here, and well, I am insanely G-locked here. Also bleeding a bit too much energy probably, but we'll go and grab him now. Just like that, beautifully spamming a few bullets into him. Just actually got my upgraded anti-air bullets as well now, and they're feeling great, I have to say. Way less hits and way more explosions than in like the first one or two clips that I recorded thus far. So yeah, as always with the Spanos, a definite must to upgrade to the anti-air belt as soon as possible. But with that said, that's our first kill of the game in the bag right there. Did honestly probably bleed a bit too much energy for that, but well, we are seeing the fights moving down a bit lower, so let's hope that that is going to be fine. I'm just going to be picking up some straight line speed to get myself there a bit faster and help out the team, because they don't seem to be doing too well right now. That said, ME262 just slapped an ATD1, so that's great news. And there is people right behind me, which I really don't fancy. And they're turning off. Cool. Good news. Now, the ME262 seems in somewhat big trouble, but I'm really not fast enough yet to actually keep up with them. As you can see, though, we are very much shooting past that 850-ish kilometer max speed mark that we do usually get with the Meteor, so that is certainly very nice as we get right into a big mess of enemies here. I'm going to try and stay on the kicker for the time being with my extreme overload. Oh my god, an F-89D! Oh, I'm really, like, I've got so much PTSD from F-89Ds at this point, you don't even know. It's so bad. Oh wow, that was a very unexpected snipe right there, but I'll take it. That was honestly pretty darn lucky. I'm going to try and help the F-84G, because I know what it feels like to have an F-89D on your tail. So, probably want to try and help him out a bit. That said, oh boy, he's looking for me! Run! Oh my god, I absolutely hate this plane. It is absolute bullshit, that. Like, sorry, I'm going to have to bleep that out, but that's just the way it is. Like, ah, god. This flippin' plane. F-89Ds, like, seriously. He just, like, he didn't even have to aim. I was like, okay, I'm just going to yeet out the second he actually starts pointing at me. He just spammed the button in his turn. He didn't even need to aim. I just went blap. Now he's coming for me. I'm trying to get to the airfield, but of course I won't be able to. All of my team is dead. You know. Kind of also down to the F-89D, but not only him. I did my fair share. I think it was still a good game. I did manage to clap to people, but, well, with the F-89D rockets flying... Oh, well, that helped. Thanks, mate. I'll take it. I'll take it. That helps. Oh, my God. The F-89D PTSD, like, seriously. He just keeps yeeting the rockets at me. I'm still flying. I'm still flying. Can't kill the vampire. Okay, can kill the vampire. Alright then, so back we are here for a little bit of a summary on the Vampire FB5. Now, yeah, as I really kind of expected, I think this plane probably suits a different kind of play style of people, just due to the way that, well, it's maybe a bit less of a turn fighter than the Meteor, but a bit faster. That said, overall, comparing performance between the two, I think I'd have to get the Vampire the edge. As much as I think the Meteor is like 15 times more beautiful, I don't think I can really give a looks rating in these kinds of videos. And in terms of performance, you know, you can still very well turn fight in a Vampire FB5. But at the same time, at a higher max speed, it would also feel like a bit better energy retention, a little less energy bleed. And other than that, you get all the advantages from the Meteor Mark 3 rather, right? So you get the Hispanos, you do get a rather decent acceleration rate of climb. You get a very, very nice top speed, way better than that of the Meteor, as I said. So, I think overall performance rating, I'd have to go to the Meteor. No, not to the Meteor, to the Vampire, I'm sorry. But, you know, looking at the tier, also, if you are currently coming up on this in the British tech tree and you're kind of trying to decide on what to go for, you know, the Vampire is probably the way to go, just even for the single reason that it's kind of the line to go down to for a Phantom FGR2, which, you know, is probably on the wish list of most of the people out there. And I think it's a very decent plane for somebody that starts in jets. It's not too hard to fly. It's a very decent all-rounder. As I just said in the clips, you definitely want to make sure to get those offensive 20mm belts and grab the air target belts, because they just feel so much better than the default belts. I mean, if you look in here, that's also why you do, of course, get the occasional hit when you're like, why did my Hispano just not do anything? Because, you know, usually Hispanos actually do rather good when you do score hits. But if you look closely right here, you've got practice shells in there. And I don't think I need to tell you that practice shells do absolutely nothing. So definitely try and as quickly as possible grab the air target belts. It's going to make your life so much easier. You know, spread on Hispanos is also never the greatest, and the overheat times are pretty fast. So new cannons are also definitely something that should be on your pickup list. And then other than that, just speed performance mostly, of course. I can really wholeheartedly recommend the 11-minute fuel loadout. I've never ever run out of fuel in this thing yet, and it's been doing me very well. You do, of course, get more performance because you lose a good bunch of weight from doing that. So I would very much recommend that too. But yeah, overall, I think a pretty enjoyable plane as long as you don't face the American F-89D menace, the PTSD that it is for me, is certainly on another level, and I never really quite enjoy finding those, which is also why I kind of feel like I enjoy the Vampire and the Meteor games a bit less than I used to, just because I always get blapped out of the air. There's no skill involved, and it's absolutely not funny. But, well, you know, that said, the Vampire has got nothing to do with it. I think it's a great plane. If you're moving up the British tech tree, you should certainly consider grabbing it for yourself. And if you do, well, let me know down below in the comments how you liked it. I hope you're going to be enjoying it, and I hope you're going to be making your way ever further up the tech tree. But with that said, I'm going to conclude this video here for today. I very much hope you all enjoyed it. As always, if you did, please make sure to hit that like button down below. It does always tremendously help out the channel. And if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider hitting that subscribe button right down below, as well as that bell icon right next to it, to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. And with all that out of the way, as always, thanks a lot for watching, everyone, and I hope I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.